Elektra. This should be good. Elektra is a 2005 Marvel film, and I hesitate to even say Marvel because nowadays, when you say Marvel, it has such a good track record. It has such a great look to it, prestige with it. People trust the Marvel name. It's amazing to think of a time, really in the early to mid 2000s, where it was hit or miss, where you would see a Marvel film, you would see the logo of Marvel, and you would be worried. You would think this may not go well, especially if it was made by 20th Century Fox. Boy, do those producers not understand these characters at all. This movie is technically a spin off or a sequel, however you want to look at it, to the 2003's Daredevil, which is kind of hilarious, especially because a lot of people did not like Daredevil. I I don't know. I don't think I'll ever do an unholy rant on the Daredevil movie, mainly because I enjoy the director's cut so much, so it kind of gets a pass. But there are definitely moments and scenes in that film that are weird and goofy. But in that film, there's a dark moment of Elektra getting killed, being murdered by Bullseye, and I always thought that sequence was intense and served the story. Then you cut to the beginning of this movie where Elektra is resurrected by Stick, this martial artist who was blind. He's played by Terrence Stamp. He brings her to his training facility, and he's not only training her how to fight and hone her craft and her skill, because she already had skill, but she needs to learn new things, like supernatural things. Like, well, since Stick resurrected Elektra, since there's a technique to that, since that's a teachable thing, he tries to teach that to her as well. First, let me talk about Terrence Stamp as Stick. I like Terrence Stamp. Obviously, he's a good actor. He's General Zod in the original Superman film. But for some reason, I don't 100% buy him as Stick. I mean, he's fine. He serves his role well. Maybe it's looking back and rewatching this after the Daredevil series and seeing that actor play Stick in this version of Stick, who is so kind of heartless, but deep down shows his affections in a weird way. And that dynamic is so much more interesting that this Stick is just a watered down version of that, if I'm being honest. Jennifer Gardner as Elektra, I want to talk about her because I think Jennifer Gardner is a good actress. I don't crap on her for this movie or for her portrayal of the character. I don't think it's her fault. I think she does what she can. She does as much as she can. There's only so much she can do. I think acting wise, she's fine. I think looks wise, she's fine. I mean, she looks great in the costume as the character. If you compare her to the comic book, she looks almost perfect. And maybe if you compare her to the actress that plays Elektra in the Daredevil show, I could argue that she looks more like Elektra than that actress does. So, on all accounts, Jennifer Gardner checks all the boxes. I like that she leaves Stick's place and decides to go off and become a contract killer. Like, this is comic book accurate. When Elektra does go down a dark path and gets lost, and Matt Murdock, Daredevil, tries to bring her back into the light, but she's so far gone that it's touch and go. That's why Elektra is a fascinating character, and that's why I was so interested and curious to see how far would they take that. Would they really go on those levels of how low of a character she is? Technically, she was dead, so maybe a lot of her humanity is gone. So the sequence where you see her as a killer, she infiltrates that building, that heavily guarded building, takes out all those people. I like that at this point people do think she was really dead and that maybe she's a ghost, and the way how she just maneuvers around the house when she finally reaches the door where her target is and she swoops in there like a legit ghost. This is great. Like so far, you're thinking, wow, this movie is going to be awesome. This is going to be about a character who was good, but is so far gone that she's ruthless and she's unstoppable. I can't wait to see more. You cut to apparently contract killers have agents. I don't know. I'm not in this field, so fine. Her agent tells her that she just got a huge offer, lots of money to go after another target. She doesn't know who it is yet. She has to go to a house in the middle of nowhere and basically wait it out. She waits out for days until she gets the names. As she's waiting here, this girl, Abby, sneaks into the house and tries to steal her mother's necklace. And what a great introduction to a character that I'm supposed to like. I know that characters in movies can start out in one place and grow and end up at another, but this actress, I'll talk about her more in a minute. But Elektra just realizes she's a young girl. She's doing something dumb. She lets her go. In fact, Elektra sees herself in her, not cliched at all. And so she decides, hey, you know what? You're a good kid or you have good in you, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be your mentor. The girl, Abby, invites her to her house for dinner. She says her father wants Elektra there. And that's where we get introduced to Mark Miller. I think his name is supposed to be a reference to Frank Miller, who had a big part in writing Elektra, creating Elektra. And this actor, I don't want to say that he sucks, but he sucks in this movie. I don't care about this dude at all. I don't buy him as this father figure or somebody who's trying to protect his daughter. I don't buy him as a love interest. Holy crap! They immediately, just because Elektra is a woman and this guy is a guy, literally just because they're opposite sexes, there's supposed to be attraction. Immediately when she meets him, she's supposed to be attracted to him. We're supposed to buy that there's awkward sexual tension, and I never buy it. I never buy that Elektra is into this guy, ever. And they have this awkward dinner, and you just, oh, who cares? Who cares? That's when Elektra finds out that these two people are the targets. She's supposed to kill them. So she gets her weapon ready, and she's debating on killing them. But of course, heart of gold. So much for her being a cold hearted assassin. That didn't last long. She decides to drop the job and she's not going to do it. She leaves. Then you find out that the hand sends ninjas and assassins of their own to finish the job and kill these people. Once she realizes this is going on, she goes back and fights them off. She saves the father and daughter, and she swears to protect them. This is horrible. This is what we're gonna do with this movie and this plot. This is where we're gonna take this plot. Why? You just had Elektra as an assassin, as a killer. Why is this the reason why she goes against it? I'm not crapping on the idea of her being an assassin and then realizing that the organization is corrupt, which how many times have you seen that story? That's kind of what's going on here as well. But I don't buy the reason. I don't buy that just because she met this girl for a day and then met the father and it's supposed to be attracted to him, that she's gonna go against the job. This is what she does, and she's clearly good at this. She clearly has killed people that she didn't know purely because their name was there. I don't buy that there was enough there with these two characters for her to care this much. I don't buy it, and this isn't the story that I wanted to see with Elektra. You get scenes of her in flashbacks of mostly when she's in water because apparently her father used to try to teach her how to swim and he was very rough and wasn't as loving. And this is weird because the actor in the flashbacks who plays her father is not the same actor who played her father in Daredevil. Like, he doesn't even look anything like this guy. It's not even close. So, where's the continuity? Even if that actor said, F that, I'm not coming back to this piece of shit movie, and I wouldn't blame him, at least get somebody that looks similar or close enough. It just was odd for me to see that. And then Elektra also gets a bunch of flashbacks of the death of her mother, but she always sees it as a demon or a monster that killed her mom. Okay. Then the head of the hand, some high powered guy, Roshi, I think his name is, he, once he realizes that Elektra did not kill the people and that the ninjas did not kill them, he assigns his son to finish the job. And it's weird because when he tells his son to do it, he tells the son, hey, you kill Elektra, but bring back the girl, Abby. Bring her back alive. Which makes me think, well, then why did you want Elektra to kill her? Or why did you want the little girl dead if you now want her alive? This is weird. Elektra brings them to Stick and wants help from him. This is where you see more of this Abby girl. Let's talk about Abby. I should probably talk about her. This actress, Kirsten Pout, I think her name is. I don't like her. I don't. She is very whiny. She's very annoying. And she, again, is somebody that I don't care if she lives or dies. But the movie makes it very important that I'm supposed to care whether she lives or she dies. And I don't. I don't want to crap on her too much because again, it could be the direction, it could be the script, it could be just the material's not good enough to where she's trying her best, she means well, and this is so many years ago that maybe if she's still around now, maybe she's better. Maybe I can see her in a movie nowadays and think, "Oh wow, she's a lot better." So, I'll just say in this film, she sucks. I want to mention that there is a deleted scene on the DVD of Matt Murdock having a scene with Elektra. It's Ben Affleck coming back, which is quite interesting because Ben Affleck did not have a good experience with the Daredevil movie, not necessarily just making it, but the reaction that it had. He was genuinely upset by the bad reviews and the crap that the movie took, and he was affected by it. So it's shocking that he shows up even for the one scene as the character. Obviously, it's his connection to Jennifer Gardner, and he was with her at the time. So sure, fine, he did a favor. But it sucks that he did that, and then the scene was cut from the movie. And it doesn't even really make sense why it's cut. Since I don't buy Elektra in this romantic situation with Mark, at least I can buy these two characters and their chemistry, which is carrying over from the previous film. So Stick doesn't let the characters stay there. He wants Elektra to finish what she started. So Elektra brings them to this guy's house, McCabe. She brings them there, and poor McCabe, he tries to protect them, but then the hand shows up. And so what do you think happens now? McCabe dies. He dies. He sacrifices himself so that the group can get away. And we just move on because who cares about poor McCabe? The group is running through the woods, which I guess is a different scenery. It also feels like this movie's pretty cheap, at least as far as location and cinematography. Just nothing looks special. It's supposed to be in different countries and it's supposed to be exotic, but I'm not feeling the way how it's shot and the way how it's directed. It looks very plain. But the hand continues to follow them. This whole movie is Elektra winding up at one place and the hand just continuously behind them, showing up over and over again. In the woods, Elektra is able to kill some big black dude. because, and then also uh, Abby and her father kill one of the other people. So wow, that really makes them look threatening. They were killed by a little girl. And then as Elektra is trying to deal with these villains, she is surprised because Abby shows off some martial arts. What? Like she's showing off these moves and she's being a badass, and you're just thinking, where did that come from? How random that Abby is supposed to be a badass and totally viable, by the way. So Elektra is caught off guard by it, and as she is caught off guard, she is kissed by Taphoid. I guess that's this chick's name, who is poisonous. So she kisses her because I guess that was the only way to poison her. Or was this just an excuse for the director to get some hot lesbian action in this movie? At the last second, though, Stick shows up. The hand still kidnaps Abby. Oh boy, so sad. I'm very sad. No, I'm not. And Stick saves Elektra, and he explains to her that yes, that this girl Abby is something called the treasure. The treasure, like she is the chosen one, and that she's meant to be saved, that she has this bigger purpose, blah, 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 blah. How formulaic and cliched could this script be? Man, this is terrible. This is hot garbage. Every time, every reveal, every twist that the movie tries to do, it goes, of course. I think, of course, that's where you're going to go next. It's even revealed that Elektra used to be a treasure, and that's the reason why her mom was killed, because of this big war going on. Who cares? I certainly don't. Then Elektra has a training scene because, well, she had one in Daredevil, so why not? Then she force projects herself because why not? And she challenges the villain, whatever his name is, this dude. She challenges him to a big duel, and he agrees to it. The winner will get Abby, because that doesn't sound weird. And when she goes to meet this guy, she goes to meet him at her childhood home. And that's when she remembers and realizes that this guy is the same guy who murdered her mom. What? What? This is like Batman 89 all over again, where the villain has to be connected to our main hero's backstory or their tragic death of the parents. It doesn't make sense because the age of this guy, I don't know, maybe he just looked really good for his age, or maybe he was just really, really young when he killed her mom. But in the flashbacks, he looks the same age when he kills the mom. And because Elektra was a kid, a child, she envisioned it or remembers it as a demon, but she remembers now that it's this guy. Okay, sure, whatever. We get this lame fight where Elektra gets her ass kicked, and this is one of those movie cliches of our hero has to get her ass kicked, but it's never believable. I like the fact that nowadays when the hero and the villain fights, that it's at least more competition, or at least makes more sense when the hero and villain go back and forth, and then maybe the villain gets lucky the first go around, where this is just Elektra gets her ass handed to her and looks like an amateur, looks pathetic, and the only reason why she doesn't die is because Abby makes the save. Good old Abby, our hero, our real hero, I guess. She makes the save. The two of them run off, and they're running through this maze because, sure, why not? There's a maze. And oh yeah, let's mention this tattoo character. All of these side characters, by the way, of the hand are very forgettable. They have no personality whatsoever. This guy at least has a decent enough ability and powers where he has these tattoos of animals that come out of his skin and they form into actual animals to attack. That's cool. It's from the comics and it's a decent idea. It's just this actor or the character isn't given enough for me to care about him. He could have been a badass. He could have been a memorable side character, but he's not. He's just there just to be there. And easily he's killed, though, by Elektra. Of course, of course. They have yet another fight with Elektra and our main villain, a guy who I don't even remember his name. And this time she kicks his ass. This is what I don't understand. At least in other movies, when the second battle happens between the hero and villain, at least then it's been some time later, and that you could argue that they've trained and that they've learned and watched tapes and studied, right? Something. They've learned the weakness. This is just 20 minutes later, if that. She fights the dude and beats him and kicks his ass and defeats him. Oh, great. Wow. What a great finale. What a great last fight between these characters that you really care about. And oh, yeah, remember that typhoid girl who was poisonous that was there? Well, she kisses Abby because that's not weird. She kisses her and poisons her because I guess that another character, another side character who's given no dialogue, by the way, no lines whatsoever. She's just here because she has one ability, and Elektra easily kills her as well. So Abby has died. And thank God, really. At the end of the day, do I care? But okay, fine. But she's supposed to be the treasure. It's very important to keep her alive. So Elektra performs a resurrection, something that she could never figure out, she could never learn, she could never master. But because she's emotionally charged, she's able to bring this girl back to life. And it's supposed to be this heart-wrenching scene where I'm supposed to cry, boo-hoo. No! I don't cry. This is why I don't like resurrections. I mean, sometimes they're warranted and sometimes they make sense, but when they're done in this way, all she has to do is put her hand over her head and the girl wakes up. It makes death mean nothing. It makes resurrecting somebody seem just too easy. And now, if they ever had done a sequel to this, there's no tension, there's no threat. Anybody can be brought back, especially now because our main character knows how to resurrect people. The film ends with Elektra kissing Mark because that's what we need to see. More of Mark being kissed by Elektra. And Elektra leaves. She leaves Abby, hoping that she'll wind up well or whatever. Yeah, this movie sucks, man. I can't do this. Every time I watch this film, and it's not a lot, there's a lot of this movie that I forgot, and rewatching it, I'm like, holy crap, it is this bad. But it's one of those movies that make it hurt. It makes it hurt that these are the type of films that we got, that this is how some people out there in the mainstream world think of this character, and will always think of this character. Thankfully, the Daredevil show redeemed her a little bit, but I don't know. There's so many movies that could have been better. There's so many Elektra stories that could have been better. F this movie. It sucks hard. Let me know in the comments below what do you think of this film. I mean, I'm gonna be shocked if anybody says that they like it. Please, if you're that one person, let me know if that's you. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.